Hello my fellow YouTubians, welcome to Lauren's Craft Corner. Today we're going to be working on a kid's felt headband, or if you want to change it up and do an adult headband, that's totally fine. Just use the same steps, just, you know, different colors and that sort of thing. For today's craft you will need the following supplies. Pause your screen right now. Alright, let's get into it. When buying your headbands you want to make sure that you get the kind that has some cloth on it. Just in my experience, it adheres better with the glue, and the plastic sometimes on other headbands is kind of cheap and it can melt, but if you have a metal one then that's a little different. Go with that. Alright, another tip is when you're using the felt, which by the way is pretty inexpensive when you buy it just piece by piece. It's only like 23 cents, so that's nice. Just these items today cost like $5, which is nice. Alright, just a tip. When you're cutting your fabric, if you want a bigger flower, then you want to make the pieces longer so that when they roll, the flower is bigger. If you would like smaller flowers, you want to make the strips thinner and shorter. I chose this pattern and these light springy summery colors for my daughter so that she can wear it for Easter, spring, summer, basically the warm months. Warm, nice colors. Alright, so I'm not going to use those right now. I'm just going to use these. Alright, we're going to do two kinds of felt flowers. The first one is a little bit more intricate, and you usually want to do this one to be your main flower or your statement flower because it'll be the biggest, the brightest, and in my opinion, prettiest. Got that? Yeah, see that's a little jagged there. That's okay. Doesn't have to be perfect, and if you really don't like it, you can just redo it. So what you're going to do is you're going to fold it over, and you can always fix that extra. That's not a big deal. You're going to bring it over, use your glue gun. Make sure it's nice and hot. Fold that over. And if you were using a sewing machine, obviously you would be sewing this piece, or if you were hand stitching, you're just gonna, you know, thread that through. Okay, make sure you got it on both sides. Flatten it out. And I'll take this moment to even this up a little bit, just because you don't want it to look crazy. Okay, not those scissors. This is where fabric scissors might help out, or sharp scissors. There. Alright, good enough for government work. Alright, and then I'm going to call this the piñata step. If you were to make your homemade piñata, you're going to cut the edges. And you can do thin slices. Make sure not to go too far in, about only halfway, because you don't want to destroy your glue line. So you can do thick, thin, you can do a pattern with it if you want. It's really up to you. Get creative. That's what it's all about. This is really hard on my fingers. Alright, so see how it's all flared out? Different little things. Okay. Kind of ruffle it up a little bit. Alright, and we're going to start rolling it. And if it has a natural curve, if it's curving this way, go ahead and flip it the other way. That way it'll fan out a little better once you start gluing it. Roll it a couple of paces like this, and then put a little glue, and then roll a little bit more, and then put a little bit more glue just to keep it all together. Be careful with the glue, it's hot. Nobody wants burned fingers. None of us would want that. See how on the bottom it's got like this thick area? If you don't want it to be so thick where it's standing up off of the headband piece, then you would just want to make it the pieces thinner. And that's difficult to foresee in the beginning because you're having to fold it over in half. So there's really no right or wrong way to do it. It's just you kind of get to adjust as you go. Hold that for a minute just to let the glue set. And then for now, see how cute that is? Aww. And if you want it to fan out a little bit more, be careful, I just got really hot glue on my finger. Okay, so be careful because that glue is really hot. It's okay. I'm a mom, I'm used to these things. See how it fans out? And even though if you roll it perfect, it might be a little tighter, or if you do a little more loose, then it might fan out more. But I think with the pattern and the way all the shapes are different and the lengths are different, it just gives it more personality. So for now, let's just put that aside while it dries. I don't want to bug it until it's dry. And then to keep in mind, you want to leave some of the same pattern left over because you're going to make a circle equal to the bottom of it, so that when you glue it to the headband, you're going to have the circle piece underneath. That way it's it just helps attach it better, and it's a little more cohesive, it looks better. So don't use all of it on all the flowers, because in the end you're going to need to cut out a circle to help glue and adhere to the headband. So next I'm going to do a pink flower. I'm going to probably do a smaller flower. Ooh, this is the second type of flower I'm going to do. Actually, I didn't want to make it that thick, so I'm going to make it even thinner. And gently, safely start rolling. If you're worried about burning yourself, use some tweezers. Some more glue. And then from here you can make all different sorts of colors and use your fabrics. Make a white flower now. I'm going to make a couple of the smaller ones because I really want this one to be the main flower and it to be the main piece. So I'm going to make a couple small ones again. Alright, now I've got my flowers made and I'm ready to start applying them onto the headband. Remember how I said you're going to leave room on some of your felt to cut out a circle that would cover the bottom of the headband and the bottom of your flower as a gluing agent support system. So I've put some glue, thought about where I'm going to put it. Put that on the bottom, press firmly. Oh, and you want the pretty side this way. That way it's just another decorative thing that you can see when you're showing people your lovely homemade headband. And then you're going to glue the other pieces here and kind of make it all come together. Circle's just a tiny bit big. In crafting, there's always a way to fix a mistake, so don't worry. I'd always start with too much and then do less, cut off less after. Bunch. Press firmly. Alright, now that you've got the center, you want to kind of glue the little flaps to help hold it in place. Just because, you know, kids are rough on stuff if they tear it off their head, so. Looks like it's time for an additional glue stick. Alright, so there you have your first flower. And I'll show you some of the other ones I did. Some cute little yellow ones. And you'll see the difference in these two. This is the different pattern that you get with the larger widths when you slit the fabric. And the shorter, you get this kind of tighter little carnation kind of looking style one, or you get this kind of bigger abstract carnation style flower. And then I went ahead and did, you know, cute little ones, and I added some rhinestones. And it helps to pre-plan how you're going to have them set on your headband. That way you just kind of pick up and glue. Now for these two flowers that I'm going to put side by side on the headband, you want to cut out more of an oval shaped piece of fabric for the underneath, so that when you glue it, you glue this piece here and it's going to act as a bit of stability so that you can put half of the flower on the center piece of the headband, and then the back of it is going to help hold both of them to keep them in place, so that you don't just have to do, you know, like that. Unless you want to, that's fine, but I'm going to give mine a little bit of width like this. Make sure you hold it down to keep it in place. Alright. Alright, so I've glued everything on. As you can see, everything's dry. You want to check for loose ends, or if you had some empty spaces because you didn't glue it properly, that's fine. I just used some pom-poms and it just looks like it was meant to be there, and there you go. So you have your, for a child, which my child's not here right now, so ta-da! Isn't it lovely? And you can do it too. If you like today's craft and you're interested in more crafts that I do or recipes that I look at and make, be sure to stop by my Pinterest page at pinterest.com/LaurenRosamond under things to make. I've got lots of cool things in there. And if you liked today's video and you want to see more, make sure to subscribe to my channel. I put out videos every Wednesday.